Hi everyone. I wanted to talk about this certain subject that I talked about if you haven't watched this free course that you can do, I put a link below. I've been sort of talking about this in every video now, but it just reminded me of this thing. And basically, I just did a course on that you can have a look for yourself on the egoic mind, how to dissolve that, how to delete that. And one of the things, if you go further in the course, you'll see in terms of the process of how it works, how to delete the egoic mind. And I just want to kind of make a point in that because for anyone who is on their self discovery journey, self love journey, this is for you. Self love is literally the key, it is the answer to every part of your self discovery, self work journey, self development journey, however you want to say it. It is literally what it all comes down to, and I'm being told the same thing. I'm here with my guides. It all comes down to this one thing, one specific thing, which is all about self-love for every single person. This is the journey that we are all on. It is all about self-love. Without loving ourselves without any conditions, right? Complete unconditional love. And there is such thing as unconditional love. Without that, there is no journey. We're not learning, right? And I'm not saying, after unconditional love, there's no more, because we're going to always be learning, always become more and more conscious, right? So there's always going to be learning. But this self-love journey is the most important thing, right? And self-love works in a way where as the layers or the parts of the angles get seen more and more, as we start seeing these parts of ourselves, the more we start looking at it, the more we really look and stare at it and really see it for what it is and accept it as part of ourselves. The more we integrate that, and the more we do that, the more we then accept everything that's around us as part of us as well. That is basically love. That is unconditional love, right? Now, what I want to say, so anyone who's on their self-love journey, I wonder if you can relate to this, because this is a thing. So in this e-course that I was talking about, I was talking about how the egoic mind, when we start deleting the egoic mind, one of the ways we do that is by making the choice. Now, I have mentioned this in a video as well about the egoic mind, that we have to make the choice. The choice is really important here. And the way we make the choice is by becoming more aware, becoming more conscious as to what we're seeing, but most importantly, how we are feeling. When we feel that something is good, something feels soothing, something feels right and certain and good within us, right? Something feels nice, however you want to say it. That is going to lead us to get to making the choice of, do you want to continue with the horrible feelings, right? Or do you want to continue with a nice, loving feeling? The nice, loving feeling is the pathway to love. That is the feeling, right? So if you want to continue on this self-love journey, there's a choice here that you're going to get to more and more, if you haven't noticed it already, which is making that choice of whether you want to step more and more into this feeling of knowing of what is better for you, what feels good for me, what feels nice for me. Or you can continue, like I talked about in this e-course, in your old patterns, where it is not the best feeling. It doesn't feel great there, it feels kind of ugly. It doesn't feel nice. It feels almost a bit rotten, a bit dark, a bit too, not even dark in like a deep way, like a nasty way, right? It just doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel aligned to you, right? Let's say it's another way of saying it. doesn't feel right, right? So you have to make that choice. When we step into that choice, we actually make that choice, things actually start leaving, right? So things actually start getting deleted. That's why I like to use the word delete, because that's kind of how I see it. It actually starts getting deleted. So I just want to kind of make that point. If you are on a self-love journey, which is all of us, whether we realize it or not, this is basically what we're doing. Start noticing what feels good and what doesn't feel good. So in this, like I said, this course of the egoic mind deleting, if you keep getting stuck in these, cycles in your mind, start noticing, does that feel good for you? Does it feel good to keep on going back to the cycle? I mean, as you become more conscious to it, you'll realize that actually this is not nice. I don't want this anymore. And that's when the choice comes in, right? So what feels good, listen to that. And what doesn't feel good, listen to that as well, right? That's going to help you more and more stay aligned to yourself and be in the self-love journey and discover yourself more and more, and therefore accept yourself more and more in this unconditional love that you are finding within yourself, which is, by the way, always already there anyway. You're just finding it for yourself. You're just there trying to get to it more and more. Love always comes back. It's always there. It's never not there, right? It's always been there. But it's about opening that part of us up to really let that in. So notice that. Notice the feelings. I've said this so many times. Healing is all about feeling, right? So if you want to transform, you just have to go with the feeling. There is no other way, but it is consciousness that really puts you in that place to really open up and see yourself for what is going on and what you want to do and how you want to change your life. So give that a go. What feels good? What doesn't feel good? Listen to that and start following what feels good for you.